Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the latest edition of Comedy Quarantine. I am Eunice Elliott. Hope everyone is staying at least 6 feet away from each other as we are. I have some very funny friends joining me today. So, most people know all of y'all, but I still want you to wave your hand when I say a name, just so we know which one is which. Which one is Mia Jackson? Oh, there's Mia Jackson. Hey, girl.
Hey, Eunice.
And then one of you is Noah Galloway.
That would be me.
That's him. That's Noah. We're going to talk about why Noah would be here in front of his Christmas tree in a moment. And then Preacher Lawson by process of elimination. Preacher
What?
Lawson. Well, you were the last one.
Oh, okay.
No, it was-
I thought it was like in processes, like we couldn't find anyone else to come
No,
on.
I'm saying at that point,
I was like, what?
it was you at that point. So what we're going to do today is a couple of things. One, this is all just to entertain folks who might just be at home. Hopefully you are at home. But also, just for us, everybody but Noah Galloway, we're professionals, comedians. Everybody but Noah.
Yes, no, I know this.
But the reason why Noah is here is I consider all these people friends of mine, including Noah. I've actually known Noah the longest. And Noah is an extremely funny person. So it was kind of a dare when I asked Noah if he wanted to join the professionals. And I thought he would be a little intimidated, like, oh, no. He was like, yeah, sign me up. So
What do you do?
yeah, Noah, what do you do?
Huh?
Preacher doesn't know you. He said, what do you do? I'm curious too.
Well, as of right now, Eunice doesn't know this yet. I'm retired. I decided during this whole quarantine thing that I like not doing nothing. So I'm done with everything. But what I did before, I'm not real sure. Like, well, I mean, I did some TV just like all of y'all, and then I just do a lot of public speaking and things like that.
So most of us have never been sure about what you do.
And I don't either.
So what is the process of retiring from such a career?
Well, it's an easy transition.
Okay.
Because it goes from not doing much to admitting you're not doing much and just living that life.
Beautiful.
So you're done with the facade.
Yes.
But a lot of people will know you from Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
You competed on Dancing with the Stars.
Yep. Was on the cover of Men's Health. They called me the ultimate guy.
They did?
Oh,
Yes, they did.
Okay.
The ultimate guy.
You know, I have this
2013
picture
Men's Health.
saved as one of my favorite pictures. Can everybody see that? That's Noah. He's the ultimate guy.
Yes.
All right, ultimate guy. Hey.
Yeah, so I got that going for me.
Noah is my former trainer. So if you have ever been trained with somebody with one arm and one leg and still hate them, you would need to be Noah would meet me at the gym and he would bring an extra leg. That's how
Well, and Eunice was never very motivated.
it go. All right, Mia Jackson.
Yes,
I met Mia
ma'am.
Jackson when I moved to Atlanta. I think it was 2013
Was it
And
2000? What's before then?
or 11. I don't know.
It might have been because I remember I feel like it was 2011. I think.
Okay, it might have been 2011. I've moved to
Mhm.
Atlanta a few times. I was just picking one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mia is a stand-up comic for many years. And when I first got on the scene, people would compare Eunice and Mia to each other all
Yeah.
the time because we were
Right.
Black girls. We both wore short hair. You went to Georgia. I went to Alabama. A little bit
Yeah.
above average height.
Right.
But we're nothing
And-
alike.
Right. And then you remember it was one show that we did, and I remember somebody came up to you afterwards and they're like, oh man, you did such a good job. And you're like, I didn't even perform tonight.
Listen here.
And they were like, well, which one are you? And then she's like, no, it's that one. And they're like, are you her sister at least? She's like, no. Like, we just tall
So I
black
would
That is
go
called-
around with Mia
I'm sorry,
and
but that's
while
called
she would do
racism.
her shows and I would just hang out with her.
Yes,
I
right.
remember distinctly I was with Mia Jackson the night.
Oh, already.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
I think it's
Not
funny.
funny.
'Cause
I
you're laughing.
was
Go
with Mia
on,
Jackson
go on.
at a show in
Here we
Tennessee
go.
the night that Whitney Houston passed away.
Right. That was
Why were you
2012.
laughing, Mia?
No, because I know what she's gonna. Let me tell. Okay. I will admit that I did this. When we found out It was like right before I went on stage, and
The
then
actual host of the show said, "I don't want to bring down the mood, y'all, but Whitney Houston died." That's how he started the comedy show.
That's how I started the show. So there was already that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because we didn't know why he did that. And then at the hotel afterwards, as they were playing all the news stuff, like Eunice was like, oh, like how what do you think about, how do you feel right now? And I just responded, and I just went, I get so emotional every time. And she was like, are you quoting this? And I was like, oh, that was probably
basically everything she said that night was a Whitney Houston title song.
Yeah, right. So in retrospect, I feel like it was a tribute.
Did you go on stage? I don't know why I have any jokes. I have nothing.
I have nothing.
And then Mia also competed on a network comedy show, Last Comic Standing.
I did, yeah. I sure did.
I'm gonna talk to you more about that. Also from Last Comic Standing, Preacher Lawson.
Psych, never been on that show, but I was on America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. NBC. I was an NBC person. NBC.
It's all good.
NBC.
It's all good. Also on Dancing with the Stars, Preacher Lawson. That's what care about me at all.
I just love an NBC affiliate.
On YouTube,
those are
probably.
NBC shows, and so they just all went together.
It's cool. I was on X Factor. I got it. But I was.
So I want to ask each of you, because Preacher, you went very far along in the competition.
Yeah.
On whatever show.
All right.
I want you to start talking to me about what was that experience like. And each of you, I'd love to hear from all of you.
Well, my experience on American Idol was really cool because I started off. It was good. It was good because that was when I first performed. Y'all know the process. Like, it's always.
We don't know the process. I've never been on. Most of the folks watching have never been on.
Okay, well, there's a process where you got to perform for the producers, and you got to do all this extra stuff, and then you get on like TV, and that's still not even, that's not even. You still may not even get on TV. But I remember that was most people I ever performed in front of. It was like 2,000 people, like 2,200. It was insane, and so it was just pretty insane. It was a crazy rush. Got to see when I seen Simon and Howie and Mel B and Heidi and Tyra Banks lick my face that night. You know what I mean? She licked my face, bro. She licked my face. Man. Yeah, it was.
He does talk about how much she likes chocolate. She does like chocolate.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? So she licked my face, and I thought that was. I was on cloud 9. Like, it was insane. You know what I mean? And then my ex started crying about it. I was like, she did it for TV. Like, I don't know why you.
We're gonna get to your ex. We're gonna come back to your ex in a second.
Okay,
Mia, how was that for you? Were you on American Idol?
Let's see, what show was I? No, I was on Last Comic Standing, and it was for the people who don't know, like the process of the season that I did it was we auditioned at comedy clubs. It was just different people at comedy clubs across the nation. And then from there, like the next step was from that group, they would pick the people that would either go to LA for the next step or to New York, just depending on where you live. And then you would know whether or not you made the show. And so after I got through all of that, like that all happened in like the fall of that year. And then by the spring of the next year, we start taping. But like the process to even prepare for it in general was just me performing pretty much. I mean, I do it all the time anyway. I perform all the time, but this was like me having to go do 3.5 minute sets, but just like running a 3.5 minute set wherever I could. With like, I was hopping on people's open mics. I'd be on my way to another city and find out there was a mic there and stop and go like, "Ooh, can I go on?" And just to keep trying to run that set. Then what's that?
Switch it up.
Yeah. And then it's like, because you have to submit your material. You have to make sure they have to approve it because you do this stuff and you're like, "Oh, this is my set." And then they go, "Oh, well, we got to run it by standards and practices. We got to run it by legal." Like I had jokes like mentioning TV shows and they were like, "Oh, cool. Can you find like a similar show on our network to say instead?" Or or like, "Oh, are you talking about your dad in your set? Okay, well, we need your dad to fill out this paperwork that is cool that you talk about him." So it was all this. So
does that take the fun out of? I mean, does that add so much stress to just being funny?
Yeah, because you kind of because in your when you go to a club, you can just say whatever you want and nobody's gonna stop you from. You just say what you want, but there you're like, oh, like not only am I thinking about editing this material as I go, but I'm also not only performing for the people in this room, but I'm also performing for people that are watching this on TV. So you just got all this stuff going on in your head at one time. And like my main thing was like, oh, I just don't want to embarrass myself or my family, and like having that extra pressure too. So it was just all this stuff. And then you're like, oh, like I hope that was fun. And I remember my first show, I was not paying attention to the directions that they had given us prior to the show because I don't like to listen. And they were like, hey, come stand at this point. So I thought they were saying, don't stand at this point. And so when I did my first set, I remember them going, oh man, you did great. But you would have really blew the roof off this thing if you had just walked to the mark. And I was like, what? There was a mark?
There's a mark?
Get the hell out of here. That is wild.
No, you don't like to listen. That is kind of your thing.
That's my thing. You know me. You know how I do.
Now, I have to ask all of you that did Preacher on American Idol and Mia on America's Next Top Model. Noah, yes. I'm most curious about how would you end up on Dancing with the Stars?
As I'm sitting here, I'm listening to y'all. You worked your butt off to get to where just to get on the show. Well, let me tell you how I ended up on Dancing with the Stars. Because I'm not a professional dancer. In fact, I've never danced before. When they called me, they said, do you have any dance experience? I was like, no. They're even like, if you go to a bar or a club, what do you do? I was like, I stand at the bar and run my mouth. That's what I'm good at. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't dance. And I even told them I didn't want to do it. They wanted to put me in a house in LA. And I was like, I can't do it. I got 3 kids here in Alabama that are too important for me to be away that long. And they said, that's fine. They sent the dancer to Birmingham. We rehearsed all week in Birmingham and flew back and forth to LA for the live show. And I didn't think I'd last long on the show. Got 5 weeks in, and we did a dance to Toby Keith's American Soldier, which is the most viewed dance in the history of Dancing with the Stars. Within 4 days, had 41 million views. And then I ended up going all the way to the end, to the 10th final week. And that's the second most viewed dance in the history of Dancing with the Stars.
But you haven't checked to see how many views you have you?
Yeah, all the time. Look, I mean, I like to Google myself and know what I'm worth sometimes too. Y'all done that.
That's true.
I'm sure you have Google Alert set on Noah Galloway by now. But even as your friend, watching you go out there dancing with one arm and one leg, it was very moving. I was very proud of you.
Well, thank you.
I wouldn't suggest you do nothing like that again.
But no. I know. Yeah, I feel bad when I go places. If I'm out, they're like, come dance with me. And I'm like, your typical white guy. And they're like, weren't you on Dancing with the Stars? I'm like, yep, wasn't trained for this song.
You don't have a routine. If you don't have a routine to that song. No.
That's right.
So let me ask you this. A lot of people are already asking this. Why do you have a Christmas tree behind you?
All right. So I'm lazy. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a single man. I've shared custody of 3 kids. My neighbors take care of me and my family. Like they feed me, my kids, my dog. Like it's just this big community we have where they take care of me. And my neighbor put my tree up for me because I was traveling, I was working. And then I think she felt like she was doing too much for me. And she's like, you need to take it down. So
what's up?
It's still here. I'm ready for next year.
If somebody cares enough about you to put up your Christmas tree, but you are able to turn them off from you so quickly that they leave it up, I'll leave that there.
I felt lazy because I took my Christmas tree down maybe 2 months ago.
Yes,
and you felt bad about that.
Yeah, I was like, man, I just now took my tree.
Let me tell you the story you tell next time someone sees that Christmas tree in your house. A lot of people are putting up Christmas lights during this pandemic to bring light and sunshine. So just lie and act like you just put it up since you've been in the house, okay?
Is this live? Can I say that again? Look, retake. I wanted to cheer up everybody during the quarantining. I threw this together today. Nice.
Look at that.
So when I look around Noah, Mia, Eunice, we have unique names. Mia and I one point did like 2 whole episodes of a podcast together called Between Me and You. Get it?
Yes.
Mia, Eunice.
Look at that. Isn't that adorable?
We thought it was
Adorable.
It was the cutest thing.
Dope name.
It's a dope name. Between Me and You. We still might revisit that one day. But I will say, Preacher has a name like no other. And Preacher, you get asked about your name a lot and you talk about it on stage. I think we can show people how you explain your name to us. Let's roll that video, Steve, of Preacher explaining his name.
Preacher, your real name? Yeah, Preacher's my name. When I was 2 weeks old, a bunch of people my mom had never met before, like when he gets older, he's gonna be a preacher. He's gonna be a pastor. That's what they seen in me at 2 weeks old. I don't know what I was saying at 2 weeks old to give them. What kind of tongue was I speaking in? Goo goo gaga, goo, can I get a wow? Like I don't know if I was changing my mom's milk into wine. I don't remember, but why is he walking on his bathtub water? I don't know, but when I tell people my name is Preacher, everyone always hears Preacher, but they think of different names on their own. They're like, what's your name? My name is Preacher. Richard? No. Clearly started with a P. Preston? I'm black, man. You know my name ain't Preston. There's no such thing as a black Preston. And if there is one, there's one. And it's probably called Black Preston. Okay? That's how it goes. I don't make the rules up. That's like a white dude named Jamal. He white Jamal, all right? Where's Jamal at? I don't know no Jamal. White Jamal. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, everybody, come on. Some people get mad. They get mad at me. Oh, are you an actual pastor? No, I'm not a pastor. Well, I'm not calling you that. Why would I call you that if you're a pastor? All right? Don't call me that. But I got news for you. You know Jesus? He ain't actually Jesus, okay? Calm down. Dr. Dre, not a doctor. Surprise. Everybody knows that The Rock is a human. I don't know why we're doing this, man. Some lady got mad at me because I had my shirt off on Instagram. She like, put a shirt on. What kind of preacher walk around with a shirt off? What if Jesus seen you with your shirt off? Every time I see Jesus, he got his shirt off. What are you talking about? Everybody knows Jesus got abs, okay? We know this. Preacher ain't even a weird name. I met some kid named Fevin with a TH. That's weird. Fevin? He's like, I'm Fevin. No, he's not, man. Your mom got a list, okay? No such thing as you Kevin, bruh. You got no Fevin, bruh. It's either your mom or the doctor's fault. That's the, what's his name? Fevin. How many pounds he weigh? Fevin. You don't see the coincidence? You know that's weird?
You were looking at that and laughing at yourself.
Because I think I'm funny, okay? I think it was funny, man. To be honest with you, I was holding in laughs, okay? I wanted to laugh harder, but I was like, this is going to be so corny because no one else is laughing on this panel but me. And it's me on the
No, let me tell you, it's not that we weren't laughing. We were listening.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I know.
Yeah,
but listen,
we were listening.
But you know the funny part. You sit here watching it with us, but you like, oh, he ain't come. Wait, watch what I say.
Yeah,
let me ask you: is it hard watching yourself do comedy?
No, I don't think it's hard at all. But I mean, I don't sit there. I don't sit and watch me like that. You know what I mean? I'll listen to my set after I perform to try to figure out what worked and didn't work. But I don't think it's weird. I used to think it was weird when I first started. I think we all do, hearing our voices like, it's kind of, but right. I don't like, I hate watching older clips of me as far as like, I don't like, I think there's only 2 performances I like on, that I did on TV, but I don't like any other performance.
Really?
Yeah.
Mia, let me ask you, do you like watching yourself doing comedy, and do you feel like are you more attached to how you look on stage? Because I know men rarely think about what they look like, whereas women
I do all the time. I think about
I know. That's why I didn't ask you.
Say, man.
Myself right now.
If I look good bombing, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I don't like watching myself perform, but I mean it's a necessary part of comedy because you have to be able to see how you sound, hear how you sound and see how you move. Like you have to, because like back in the day, I used to have a real bad habit of grabbing my crotch when I would talk. And so I would switch the mic and just be doing like this back and forth, like, and somebody was like, "Do you know you grab your crotch when you perform?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And
I
I
never
watched the clip,
knew.
and I was like, "Oh, I am really grabbing my crotch for no reason." So I had to. So you have to watch. So you have to do it. I hated it, but somebody was like, "What are you grabbing at?" And I was like, "I don't. Eggs, I guess. I don't know." But
Eggs.
that's But I mean, just I'd be rocking back. I mean, just.
But you have since stopped grabbing your eggs.
I have since stopped reaching for my eggs, but
Okay, good.
but as far as being attached to how I look, I mean, like when I'm doing something that's a TV thing, like I always try to make sure. I mean, because that's again, it's just it's part of being a woman. But no, because appearances, it's a thing, and you can't act like it doesn't exist. But I mean, I will try to make sure that I look decent enough so that I'm not embarrassed when I look back and be like, "Oh man, why was I wearing that outfit?" But when I'm just doing regular shows, I just mostly try to be like, "Am I clean?" That's all. Like, I put on clean clothes today. Like, that's
Did
really
I get that mustard stain off the shirt before I
right.
came
That's
away?
that's really all I try to focus on. But I
And see,
remember at one
I
point,
didn't ask
oh,
Noah Galloway because I know that he doesn't have to be on a show to look at
right.
himself.
hmm But
So,
yeah, but there was a time where I had this black denim jacket that I used to wear apparently so much to the point where one day my dad, who does not pay attention to anything, asked my mom if I had other clothes. And then I was like, "Ooh, it is time to go shopping." He was like, "She ain't got nothing else?" He's like, "She love that damn jacket. She love it."
I wear the same 3 pants
Oh.
for the last 3 years.
see, guys can get away with that. Guys can get away with wearing the same thing on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And girls, we
yeah.
have to think about being funny, but also, okay, well, yes, I look good in this, but I got so many pictures of me already in this already.
Yeah, because I when I did the Comedy Central half hour, I wore a black and red jumpsuit, and then anytime I had to do something for TV after that, I was like, "What if I just bought that in different colors? Could I buy one that's red with black accents, or could I just?" And then I'll keep sending my manager pictures like, "What about this?" And she's like, "It's the same jump. What are you doing?" So
Right.
yeah,
You're a
but
celebrity now. You can't repeat.
I can't repeat.
No, so was it hard watching yourself dance though? Because you weren't used to seeing your body move in that way.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't watch any of my dances because the dance partner I had, Sharna Burgess, like she taught me, I knew what the moves were, and she did the best she could with me missing arm and leg on how we did it. But knowing what it should have looked like in my head, I couldn't see that on TV. All I saw was my injury, as bad as that sounds. But now when it comes to any time I did an interview or anything like that, I love watching myself. I love to hear myself talk.
You see your injury though.
Do I?
Yeah, I honestly didn't know it still. I saw the
Yeah.
Health magazine thing.
Right. I was gonna say,
Right.
Yeah.
for people that don't know you, Noah, I know you have the most watched dance. But for the people that don't know you in this space, can you tell us how you lost your arm and your leg?
Yeah. Well, so I was going to college when 9/11 happened, so I dropped out, went in the military, was in the invasion of Iraq in 2003. I went back in 2005, and about 3 months into it, got hit by a roadside bomb, and I lost my left arm above the elbow, my left leg above the knee. I had injuries to my right leg, my right hand, my jaw was shattered. So I mean, it was something I had to work through, and that's what's cool is like I'm proud of the fact I went on Dance with the Stars and I did that Men's Health cover. I was extremely proud of because with my injury, I was the one who got myself back into shape and pushed myself as hard as I did to get to that point. And so it's the magazine that I think I'm more proud of that than I am Dancing with the Stars. Yeah, Dancing with the Stars took me to another level, a bigger audience, but that Men's Health cover today, of all days, I had to go get some gas and I was at a red light and a guy was next to me in a car and he was kind of looking at me. We stopped at the next light and he goes, "Hey, you were on Men's Health." And I was like, "Dude, that was like 2014. I was like, "Thank you." He said, "I know you were on Dance with Stars too, but Men's Health." I was like, "I am so proud that you said that because that took a lot to get there." And I was really proud. So it was like when y'all, earned your spot on those TV shows. I worked and worked and worked to get on that Men's Health, and that was my big moment right there.
Yeah, when I met you years before that, you were quite fat and flabby.
I mean, okay, I got out of shape for a moment.
Why are you trying to put him on blast?
Oh, wow.
Take a lot of work. I just want to point that out. Okay. So
Yes,
something else you guys have in common is I have given you all relationship advice. You have mentioned some of you are single. Preacher is one of my favorite relationships. I'm saving him for last. I'm single. I'm usually single. I'm chronically single, but I feel like I give good advice. So that's the first show of hands. Who thinks I give good relationship advice? Noah?
You didn't give me no advice. You didn't.
Use the good hand.
You didn't give me. I don't know. I got scared. I was like, okay.
Okay.
So you didn't give me advice. I met someone.
I actually set Noah up with a friend of mine before.
So you didn't give me advice. You just set me up. And now, it didn't work out. But now she's moved on.
No, it didn't work out. However, it worked out enough to the point that it didn't work out. So that means that
don't even make any sense. That makes no sense. It worked out.
No, because here's the thing: if you introduce or set your friend up with somebody, if there's no
she got drugged into
and they don't ever date again, then that's bad on you. If they date and it implodes, that ain't on you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. All right, Mia Jackson. When I met Mia Jackson in 11, she was in a different relationship than she's in now. She was engaged.
Yeah, I remember talking to you. I feel like we might have had this conversation at the Punchline in Atlanta, I think. And I remember you were like, oh, so like, blah, blah, blah. We're just talking. And you
very new to each other, had just met.
Yeah. And then and I was just like, I'm engaged. And I should have known that there was no light in my eyes or pep in my voice when I said it, because it was just a script to me at that point. It was just something I told people like, hey, my name is Mia. I'm engaged. Like, that's kind of how it was. I remember you were like, oh, you just looked at me like it was like, she doesn't know yet. She's not aware that she's not gonna get married. And I remember we even sat down one time. I think we were gonna try to work on we're gonna try to do like a show or something. We were like, yeah, we could like talk about you getting married and going through the process of like wedding planning. And I was like, ooh, that sounds fun.
I did not know the guy. I had never met the guy. I didn't know Mia. I just knew that I had just met this woman and she told me she was engaged, and I was just like,
yeah, she knew. Like, and it was
I just knew.
It was you knew,
and that
you
relationship
were right.
ended happily.
Right.
We're in a healthy, happy relationship now. But Preacher is my favorite relationship advice.
Why am I your favorite?
Because this relationship advice story is so, first of all, 6 degrees of separation. It's a small world after all.
Ooh.
It's just a whole lot involved in this. Okay, so when I met Preacher, it was at the Stardome. I was opening for him, and he was just coming from The Voice, and he was on top,
I just got done singing.
He had a great run on The Voice, and he was popping, but he was so sad. I don't know this guy, I'm just meeting him, and he was backstage. And I don't know what his natural temperament is, but I know on stage he's loud, he's moving around, he's physical, he got all this energy. And backstage, he was just like a wet blanket.
I was depressed. I'm so sad.
I said, well, what's going on? And he says, me and my girlfriend broke up.
Oh.
And I said, oh, I'm sorry. But the more he told me about the situation, me not knowing the girl, not knowing him, I said, listen, it's probably for the best. You got this new life going on. You really don't want to be disappointing somebody or feeling attached to somebody else's feelings while you're trying to build this thing you've been working so hard on. You'll be sad for a while, but this is for the best. Trust me.
Yeah, and I was not trying to hear that. I was like, listen, I'm telling you my feelings, okay? What you do is you agree with me. And you say what makes me feel better. I ain't trying to hear no reality. And then
I said all that. So how long after that did I take my advice back? I don't remember. Like,
listen, the only reason she took her advice back is because she knew who I was dating, but she didn't know I was dating.
But okay, so let me say this. I didn't know who he was dating. I didn't know him. So when he told me he broke with his girlfriend, wherever she need to be, don't nobody care. Maybe a week or two later, I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see this woman that I know who is gorgeous and talented. And ironically enough, I met her before I met him. And I'm like, wait, is this who he was dating? And I went and DM, hey, I didn't realize, you need to work that thing out.
Just playing. Sometimes you know what I mean?
Talking, and I don't be knowing when I be telling that you need to make that work with her.
Yeah. But that's the only reason you took you. I mean, because we didn't. Me and my ex, you know, she's super dope. Like she you said, she's beautiful. She's super talented and smart. She's great. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's sometimes a lot of people think that just because you have two puzzle pieces, they don't fit the same picture, something wrong with them. It's like sometimes it just don't work out. You know, so there was nothing. We just didn't work out. You know, so.
But that's the first time I gave a relationship advice and tried to take it back.
But you took it back on emotions. You was like, oh snap.
I didn't know that's it. Because I was
Preacher gonna tell her I told her to break up.
Small world. I didn't know I knew who she was because I didn't know him. So I didn't know who he was talking about. And then when I realized who he was talking about, I was like, yeah, work that thing out. Yeah, y'all should be. So when we talk about being single and being in the business, I personally think it's harder for a woman to make those connections or try to meet a guy. Yeah, you have spoken to this. You talk about it in your stand-up.
I'd agree with that.
Some of your flirting challenges, potentially. I think you brought us a clip of you discussing some of that on stage.
I did. Yes, I did.
All right, let's check that out, Steve. We are discussing some of her challenges.
Let me see if
I'm in a relationship because I don't need to be flirting with people. I'm not a good flirter. I do not have the voice for it. I also have terrible allergies. And you cannot walk up on people going like, hey, how you doing? You're putting up in my phone. Like nobody wants that. And I also found this out. It does not matter how big your boobs are when your nose is always running. So nobody likes that at all. And I don't know when people are trying to flirt with me. I'm not good at being able to tell. So one day I was in the gym. I'm on the treadmill. I had it turned all the way up to 0. But I do that for the resistance. And I tripped. So I tripped and I fell off the machine. But I got up real fast and I ran to another section to make it seem like I was circuit training. So I was running and kicking and, you know, started army crawling and just pushing people out of the way to make it seem legit. And so I just grabbed the weight. I just started doing like this because I was embarrassed. And I'm like, I hope nobody saw me. But then this guy starts looking at me. So I'm like, okay, I got to start body rolling. I got to entice this dude. You know, so I'm just kind of like, you know, just like, okay. And then he started waving at me and pointing. And then I was like, oh, so you see my legs? And he said, yes, because you're bleeding. I just saw you bust your ass across the room. Nobody is looking at you. So a few years ago, I almost got married, okay? Then I got out of the relationship. And then I had one of my friends trying to set me up with people. And my friend, she's a white person, which is fine. And it's fine, guys. It is. But she comes to me and she's like, oh my gosh. She goes, Mia, I've met the perfect guy for you. And I went, tell me more. And she said, well, he's either in his late 40s or his early 60s. Okay. And I said, well, tell me less. So then she shows me his picture. He is at least 75. And I am not. And I said, hey, my eyes are brown and have hope. His eye color is cataracts. I'm like, why are you trying to set us up? We don't look like we're in the same age range. And she goes, I got to be honest with you. I'm not really good at telling black people's ages, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. We age very well. It's scientific. But I told her, you should have been able to look at him and look at me and know that only one of us had gone through the civil rights movement. Okay? And I just want to be very clear with everybody. I respect the movement and everything that it's done for my life, but I will not date anybody who had to fight for my freedom. I won't do it. Because you cannot win arguments against that dude. You can't. There's nothing I can say. I can't walk in the house and yell at him. I can't be like, hey, what you been doing all day? You didn't wash these dishes. And he'll be like, bitch, did you get to vote? Like, I'm just asking, like, like, how was that nice integrated lunch you had earlier today? You got to sit at the counter, didn't you? You're welcome. He's like, I can't even pressure wash the house without a flashback, but you're going to ask me about some dishes. Okay. You're disrespectful.
Noah was dying, bruh. He was dying. He was dying. This man didn't laugh not one time at my clip. This man's knocking the Christmas tree over, cracking up, slapping everything. Come on, man. Come on.
Noah found me quite hilarious.
That was funny. It was funny. It was funny.
Thank you, preacher. Thank you.
It was great.
I love that because I'm the black friend that set my white friend up. I did set you up with a white person.
You did.
That's the least I could do. I said, she white, you white, y'all should be together.
That is.
See, and that is racist.
No, that's the point. That's usually how white people will try to set up their black friends because they'll meet you and say, "Oh my God, you're single? Oh, honey, what was the guy that worked at Salvation Army and picked up our couch? What was his name?"
Right.
Try to match you with a black person. They don't care. Like you don't. Well, what she like to do? I don't really know that much about her.
Black.
Right.
Yeah, she's black. Yeah.
Oh. And like in the joke, like in real life. It was like a person that she knew where she was like, oh, like, well, this guy is in entertainment and you in entertainment, and he was legit. He's probably older than my father. And I was like, why did you think this was a good? And one of my other friends even tried to warn her beforehand, like, don't go show me this man's picture. Don't go.
It was a
don't
man.
do this.
So listen, I asked y'all before we got started, and I want the audience to submit the questions for this because I didn't ask you before we got started.
Okay.
So I didn't do the research. So I need someone from the audience to try to stump this distinguished panel. We got about 20 minutes left. Each one of them told me they were an expert on a topic. So I want you guys to send a question in the comments to see if they will be able to answer your question. So it's a different category for each. I have already admitted I am not an expert in nothing. I'm not going to play. I'm just going to be the game show host for this, okay?
Listen, I'm not an expert either. Quit putting all this pressure on me. You
No
just
pressure,
asked
no
me.
pressure.
I know.
You asked me
change my
to
answer.
pick something.
You want to change your answer? No.
No, that's what I didn't. Okay, no.
Okay, so
I'm a comedian. I'm not an expert in comedy. All right.
No, you're not an expert. Okay, let me change it. No pressure.
Okay.
I asked all of you, what is something that you feel like you can answer a lot of questions about?
Okay.
Like you some kind of expert.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Preacher said MMA. So any MMA fans out there, pose a question to Preacher based on MMA. I'm going to pull it up and ask it, and let's see if he gets it. Mia, you would have to know, her name is Mia Jackson. She thinks she know everything about Michael Jackson. She been saying that's her cousin since she was a wee little baby. It ain't true. Okay? She thinks she knows everything about Michael Jackson. You have Michael Jackson trivia, drop it in the comments. I want to see if we can stomp Mia. And what would Noah Galloway be an expert on? Could it be baseball caps, Christmas trees, white t-shirts, toilet paper? No. Noah said he'll be able to answer any question about the TV show Cheers. Not that deep, but okay. If you have a question about MMA, pose that to Preacher. A question about Michael Jackson, pose that to Mia. A question about the television show Cheers, pose that to Noah. I'm going to look at these comments and see what y'all got going on, because I believe that we will not have a hard time stumping our panel. Okay.
While you're reading the comments, since I'm here with three comedians, and people who keep up with, comedians keep up with the news, right? Y'all like to stay up to date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did y'all hear about the old woman that fell in the well?
I did not.
I didn't see well.
Mm.
Come on. Is that? I'm trying that out for a. No, it's not a thing. All right.
What are
Never
we?
mind. You should have left us alone, Eunice.
I would have laughed at you if you laughed at my stand-up, Noah, but you didn't. Okay.
I didn't get it. What did you say? The woman that fell
You
in
should
the
have
well?
laughed at my comedy, Noah.
I was trying to listen.
No, that was. I see what's happening now.
We getting questions, but I didn't get it. The woman that fell in the well, I didn't get it. What happened?
She didn't see
No,
well.
move past it.
She didn't see the well.
She didn't see
It
well.
was a street joke.
Okay,
I'm
I
not
don't.
a fan of bad jokes, but that was unusually bad.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna start with Mia Jackson. We're getting these questions.
I knew it was coming.
Keep sending the questions. All right, Mia.
Okay. 1987.
Now, wait. Mia, clarify your Michael Jackson knowledge as you did for me.
Now, I would like to clarify, I do have a lot of pre-allegation Mike information. I do know some post-allegation Mike. So if we talking,
not gonna answer Michaela Spencer's "Did Michael touch those kids?" We're not gonna ask that question.
I'd be willing to take.
Michaela, we're not gonna ask that question. We're going pre-allegation Michael Jackson.
Pre-allegation Mike.
Mia from Ashley Logan. Who is Dirty Diana?
Who is Dirty Diana? I don't believe he ever. I mean, it's supposed to be Princess Diana. That's what they said. That's the alleged that it was about. But I don't think they ever confirmed who Dirty Diana was. But I know she did enjoy that song, Princess Diana, and they met at some point, and she was like, "Ooh," and then he was like, "Hee." I don't know if he said that. I don't know if that was his answer. But that was the.
Logan, I don't know if that's right.
Wasn't like Dirty Diana about like a girl that was helping them, it was like a side chick or something?
No, you think about Billie Jean?
No, I'm talking about Dirty Diana, like the lyrics. That it was about
Dirty Diana was trying to pressure herself into his relationship.
Yeah, she was like a group.
A fan. She was a group.
Groupie.
You know what?
Yeah,
Now let me share this. I do believe if it is like the way Billie Jean was, it was supposed to be like a composite of all the different.
At least she's full of it. She just making it up as she goes.
I am not making this up.
She's making this up.
She's like, look, if you pay attention to my hands.
I don't know if it was Diana Ross. I don't think, because she was like his mentor.
All right, Ashley Logan, I need you to tell us what the answer is. Keep in mind, question. You got to come back. The Ashley Logan said yes, it's a groupie.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
That meant that me and Preacher got it.
Listen, no.
Y'all got it.
No,
you're welcome, Ashley.
Guys, what I'm saying is, it's a composite based on all of the stuff that like his brothers and dad, because they was out there in the streets in the Jackson 5 days, and it was all kind of carrying on, going on.
All right, we're gonna move on to Preacher. Preacher, what is Chuck Liddell's MMA name?
The Iceman. I mean, come on, give me something hard. Give me something hard.
Okay. For Noah, what did I think this is easy. What did Norm do for a living?
Oh, okay. Cliff was the mailman. Norm, because he was unemployed for a lot of the show. Because then he claimed he did construction, I think. But I'll tell you an interesting fact. She rambled for a while, so I'm gonna ramble. So Norm. So the guy who played Norm, him and the guy who played Cliff, the mailman, both tried out for Norm's role. And Norm, the guy who played Norm, got it. The guy who played Cliff, on his way out the door, he looked and said, "Well, do you have a bar know-it-all?" They're like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Every Boston bar has a bar know-it-all." So then they brought him in as a test a couple of times, and people loved him. And they got to where they just let him make up his own random facts on the spot on the show.
That's wonderful. Now, Michaela Spencer, what did Norm do for a living?
What was the question again? I think he was unemployed.
He was a painter.
He was a painter. I got it.
Yeah, you got it. You trying to pull Mia Jackson.
Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, we are not gonna call that a Mia Jackson.
I'm the only person that just answered the question. Like, what's Chuck Liddell's nickname? Chuck Liddell got 2 arms. First off, he got legs. He favorite color green.
Okay. Somebody sent me another MMA question. I don't know anything about it. Stand by. I'm checking all of the. Okay, so while I find another MMA question, can you tell me, Mia, Michael Jackson's shoe size?
I don't know the damn man's shoe size. I know how tall he is.
How tall is he?
He was blessed. He's still alive. He in our hearts. He was 5'10", I believe. That is his height. Shoe size, I don't know. I don't know what. I know he had gigantic.
Shorter than that. They used to make shoes for him to make him look taller.
Don't be talking. He was not. He was 5'10".
He was like Bruno Mars.
Yeah, like Bruno Mars. Tiny. Oh man, he's the greatest performer.
They're full of lies.
Right. For Preacher Lawson, Shane Kelly wants to know, where did Ben Askren wrestle? What school?
That's not MMA. You're asking me wrestling questions.
Before he went to MMA.
Look, I don't know. He wrestled. Where he wrestled? Yeah. First of all, his favorite color blue. You know what I mean? No, I don't know what Ben Askren wrestled at. I don't know. I just know he was legit. I mean, I know he did a little wrestling session with Jordan Burroughs recently and got destroyed. I don't know where he wrestled at, man. Missouri University.
All right. Noah.
Wait a minute, I got a question. Are these people not giving the answers?
Right, I need the answers.
Y'all can go ahead and give the answers when you ask the question because they can't see this. Only I can see this. So
yeah.
This is a trivia.
So what size shoe does he wear?
Yeah,
no.
Henry Robinson, you need to tell us what size shoe Michael Jackson wears.
And confirm that he was 5'10".
So guys, when you send the questions,
9.5.
You can't see it. All right, so Noah.
Yes.
What team did Sam Malone play for?
Oh crap! He played baseball. He was originally supposed to be a football player, but when they cast him, they said his body type was more baseball. I don't know. Red Sox? Yeah, he had to play for the Red Sox. It was Boston. I'm killing it. I'm still saying. I feel like I'm doing great in this game.
Listen, that last question was not an MMA question. That don't count. That was a wrestling question. Okay. You should have asked me about Ben Askren's record, who he last lost to.
How about this? Okay, another MMA question. Okay, Ben Askren went to Mizzou. All right, Preacher. Ashley Logan wants to know this. Ashley, I need you to send me the answer. Where is Fight Island?
Who is Fight Island?
Where is Fight Island?
Fight Island?
Where's Fight Island?
Fight Island is where they were supposed to have. This is a trick question because this is where they were supposed to have the UFC event 249, which they canceled because of coronavirus. Fight Island is the private island that Dana White was gonna set up because they couldn't have it anywhere else because they had to do social distance. So they were going to go to a private island to fight. So I don't know where it's at. Nobody knows where it's at. He didn't tell anybody.
Dublin. Okay.
Yeah. Get that off my shoulder.
Michael Jackson,
Ashley.
9.5. 9.5. Okay.
9.5. I stole that. I mean, someone told me.
Sam played for the Cubs.
Dark crowd.
Oh.
Wrong on all of you. All right. Looking for more questions? Hey, folks, on YouTube, make sure you send the answer along with the question. Someone wants to know, Noah, you're getting very interesting questions. There aren't so much questions, more so than almost accusations.
What are you accusing me of? Don't say that. Like, you
I'm
can't
just
say
telling
that
you,
and me not know.
I don't know who
they're
Jelly's
accusing
bar
me of.
is. I don't know who Jelly's bar is, but the question for Jelly's bar is how many pairs of panties are in your dresser?
What? I don't wear those, so I mean, why would I have them? I know what they're getting at. I know.
Oh, do you? Do you know? I don't know who
That's
Jelly's
inappropriate.
bar is. And a couple of people are asking about George. George is who, Noah?
George is my dog. I have a dog.
How about this? George is your dog. Why is your dog's name George?
Well, because remember on Looney Tunes when it is I love him and squeeze him and name him George. Well, I always liked that name, and I wanted a dog I could love and squeeze on, call him George. But then I found out that in Mice of Men, George is a character. In fact, that's why it was so popular on Looney Tunes. A lot of their characters were named George because of Mice and Men. So sometimes I'm talking to like really intelligent people. I'm like, he's named after Mice and Men.
Okay, now tell the story about why your dog's name is George.
Do what?
Tell the real story about why.
Because of the Looney Tunes and the abominable snowman squeezing and saying I love him and squeeze him and name him George.
And the rest of the story is what?
What's the rest of the story?
The last time I gave you relationship advice, I said you act like the abominable snowman and you won't do.
Oh yeah, that did. I put it in my head because I will. I'll be all about him.
It's of Mice and Men. Boy, bye.
I thought he would have tied it back to Cheers.
Huh?
I thought he would have tied George back to Cheers.
All right, let me see if we got more questions. What were the last words said on the final episode of Cheers?
Oh crap. You know what? I don't know the answer, but I will tell you this. The final episode was recorded in front of an audience, and then they filmed the actual ending in an empty studio. The studio was completely empty, so no one would find out how it actually ended because they split apart. So I don't know what. I think it's something that Diane says, or not Diane, because it's the other girl. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Sorry, we're closed.
Oh.
That episode aired on May 20th, 1993.
I thought my story sounded better.
Yeah. Mia, what high school musical recreated a MJ episode?
What high school musical? Look, what, Glee? Is that you're asking? Like what? Oh,
okay. All right. I'm finding more questions. We got to get some more MMA questions. I know it's got to be more MMA. We don't feel like the MMA questions have been any good, right, Preacher? That's what we're going with.
I mean, I'll answer whatever. It's fine. I mean, there was only one.
He's like,
bad
give me anything. He's like, give me anything. Okay, just ask. He's like, just ask me.
Yeah, you just ask me a question.
We might put you. Did you watch Cheers, Preacher?
No, I did not watch Cheers. It was. I mean, I know it's a good show, but I was not. I watched Seinfeld, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin.
I think it's too easy of a question. Melissa easily has a question for Noah. It's too easy of a question, but what was Norm's wife's name?
Oh crap!
Are you serious?
Because you never see her.
I know this.
Come on.
You know real life.
We're gonna let Preacher take this one. We're gonna let Preacher
take
this
one.
What is it? I know her name.
Huh?
What is it?
You want me to tell you now?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't, but like I don't even feel like ruining it.
I know the answer.
What is it?
Mira.
You
don't know that?
Vera. It's Vera.
Vera.
Somebody just gave you the answer, Preacher. I saw it in your eyes.
He has. I've seen that. He kept looking up.
Right. Meanwhile, I was ready to go without nothing.
Listen,
there are not a lot of MMA fans. Somebody said, Steve Bryant wants to know, when did MMA start?
I mean, I don't know, like in the 90s or something on VCRs. Was it 1991?
Okay. I don't know. Give me the answer, Steve Bryant. When did MMA start?
It's like, okay, 93.
I actually have another MMA question. This will be the last question, but Janet Lachelle has a really good question that we probably should have had be the first question for you, Preacher, which is, what is MMA?
What'd you say?
What is MMA?
Oh, yeah, that's funny. MMA is just mixed martial arts. So, like, when you can tell when people don't know what MMA is, when they're like, you watch UFC. UFC is an organization. So MMA is a sport like basketball, and UFC is an organization like NBA. Okay. You know what I mean? So
you know what?
I should have asked you that question first.
I hope I'm never in a bar with Preacher and there's a fight on, because he sounds so that's an organization. I don't want to ask his name.
He was a little condescending.
Yeah.
Hey, look, what are you talking about? That is not. I'm just educating. You know what I mean?
Samantha, I'm about to ask your question, but I need you to give me the answer, Samantha Christine. Actually, a lot of people wanted to know what was MMA. Okay.
That's funny.
Everybody's like, Ma? He don't know about his mom? Samantha Christine, I'm about to ask Preacher Lawrence your MMA question, but I need you to go ahead and send me the answer. All right. So Samantha Christine wants to know, Preacher, who in MMA has a sword tattooed on his chest going up to his neck? Wait.
Lesnar.
Noah is acting like he knows this one.
Yeah, he just said it. Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay.
I knew that one.
Sure, if you say so.
He's not even like a. He's not even. He's just one of the more famous guys in the MMA. He's not even like.
Did he become a wrestler like WWE?
Yeah, he was wrestling first, and then he went over to MMA and started whooping people, and then left.
Y'all continue this conversation offline with some other.
Sorry.
Later, man.
James wants to know who played the guitar solo on "Beat It."
Who played the guitar solo on "Beat"?
Wait! Before you say it, Preacher and Noah acting like they know.
I do.
Already?
Who is it, Mia?
Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then who played the solo on "Dirty Diana"? Slash.
Can I say it? I was gonna say, yeah. All right, yeah.
Okay, so I think overall we know the most about Michael Jackson, and that would be post allegation Michael Jackson.
Yes.
All right, wait, getting more questions. No.
Well, there were always allegations. They just
I know every time. Yeah.
Okay, Preacher, somebody wants to know who is your favorite female MMA fighter and why?
Amanda Nunes, because she's just the greatest artist. She's the greatest female mixed martial artist ever. She's arguably one of the greatest. She's like top 5, I think, greatest mixed martial artists ever. She knocked out who was arguably the greatest female MMA fighter, Chris Cyborg. She was on steroids, clearly on steroids. She knocked her out in the first round. She knocked out Ronda Rousey in the first round. She knocked out what's that other girl? The girl who submitted Holly Holm. She knocked out Holly Holm. Holly Holm was a boxer, had multiple world records.
Moving on.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I
could go on with some Michael Jackson. I can go on with some Cheers. MMA. I'm like, yeah, what's MMA?
Sorry.
Who was the champion of UFC 1? Preacher.
I don't think there's a champion, but there was a tournament, and there was a Royce Gracie.
The Gracies were told they couldn't fight no more.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, they were winning. He knows.
Now, you know what's interesting? I should have known my redneck friend was into MMA. I was talking about Noah, just in case y'all didn't.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah. What was my redneck friend? All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for the questions and the answers. One last question, because they're not sending them. Yeah, okay, so someone said Norm worked for the Coast Guard, but then got fired when he stood up for Diane, then that he was an accountant. I remembered him being an accountant.
Then he was a painter. Yeah. That's a trick question, because then he was a painter.
Okay, last question. This is really going to be the last question, I think. Noah, what was the restaurant name above?
Oh, dang it, I don't remember. Yeah, there's a restaurant above it. I don't remember. Dang, now I feel like I've really failed as a person. I got to go back and watch all 13 seasons of Cheers now.
Okay, well, the name of that restaurant is
27 episodes. There were 20 episodes a season back then. You know, like now you get like 8 or 10. There were like 20, I think it's like 27. And if you watch them consecutively on Netflix, it's like you can see they're wearing the same clothes in the next episode because they just filming one after the other.
So Noah is now in high school who would answer the essay with 4 pages, but none of it included the answer.
Melville's.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. And I tell the teachers
restaurant
to wear
was
a nice dress.
Melvis. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna say you know enough about it. If I had to declare a winner, I'm gonna give everybody a prize. We got first, second, and third. I'm gonna give Preacher first prize because I didn't know if it was right or wrong. So
That is, man.
everything you said, I'm sure it was right. Whatever you said, that's right. I have no idea what you was talking about. So Preacher gets first prize because I have no idea what he was talking about. I'm gonna give second
I could
prize.
have been making that up.
I'm gonna give second prize surprisingly to okay, I'm gonna make second prize a tie. I don't know if y'all know who that's gonna be between.
Okay. All right. I think
making a tie is I believe the MJ questions were easy.
were they though?
I felt like the MJ
you know what?
were hard.
The Michael
And
questions
even
were
though
easy.
Noah rarely answered a question correctly, he did throw a lot of other Cliff Clavin type information.
I wish.
Yes.
I thought people was gonna give me. I thought people was gonna try to go back deep in the archives of the catalogs, and that's what I was ready for.
Right. So So I don't feel like the MJ questions you were asked were really hard, but you got it right. And I feel like Noah didn't answer really anything right, but he told us a lot of stuff that we never knew and never really wanted to know. So,
Right.
we call it a three-way tie for first. I appreciate y'all participating. So the one last thing I want to ask all of you. First of all, I want to thank you again for taking time out of your Monday night. You weren't doing nothing else. But I would like for you to tell me how you will be, and how will you be different post-pandemic?
I'm gonna be hydrated a lot more. I didn't realize how much I didn't drink water until I was forced to. So my skin should look. Amazing.
Most of us are dehydrated. I have a sign up in my kitchen that says, mind your own business and hydrate. So I give myself a daily reminder. Hydration. Anybody else?
I'm retired. So from here on out, I ain't doing nothing. So this is just, I'm just gonna adapt to this lifestyle and just own it. This is it. If you ever want to call me at home, I'll be right here. Me and the Christmas tree.
And you know what's interesting with the Christmas tree? Somebody did ask Noah, what boy band are you a part of? But I will say, since you are the one white friend on here, this is what white privilege looks like. He's retired, Black people. So
oh man, I feel bad for laughing at it.
Well, if you didn't laugh that hard, it wouldn't have been fine. You laughed really hard.
That's white privilege, America. All you got to do is retire. All right, Preacher, will you be anything different post-pandemic?
I feel like, I just feel like I'll be better. You know what I mean? I took, I feel like I took, in the beginning, I just wrote down all the distractions in my life and anything that distracted me, and I feel like hindered me in a way, and I stopped doing those things. So I just stopped. I got away, and I just feel like I'm a lot more productive. Now, I'm really clear-headed, and before I was just kind of like doing everything. I was going through it and doing shows and boom, boom, boom. But now I'm kind of like, I'm setting up my time the way I can have fun and still be productive, and I'm just gonna be better. I feel good.
Yeah, my answer is the opposite of that. I have so much more time for so many more distractions that I didn't even know that I needed. TikTok being I found new things. So I really appreciate you guys all hanging out with me. Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
I enjoyed it.
Never need relationship advice. Y'all all have my number.
Right.
Mia's the only one that's
I don't have your number.
Let me say, Mia is the only one that's booed up, and I have never given her relationship advice about this particular relationship.
Right. This is right. So
there might be a correlation here. The one I gave her advice about, she's no longer in. And
right.
That's all right. As long as the record is 100%, I don't care which way it goes.
Cool.
I think you're
Preacher, work through that. Noah, good luck with that. And for everybody that's been watching, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us for Stardome Comedy Quarantine. Hey, maybe I'll find some more comedy friends and we'll do it again, perhaps.
Right.